Okay, weekly watch report. Let's get into the things we watched this week. Weekly watch report on Monday. Weekly watch report on Monday. Weekly watch report on Monday. Okay.
Oh, I thought you had something to say, Noah.
No, I don't.
Did you notice Noah's shirt today?
I did. And
I didn't plan on showing the shirt. I was wearing a hoodie, and I was like, I'm not going to take the hoodie off. But then it was too hot in here.
I was going to say that's nice of you to keep that shirt.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where mine is.
I don't know where mine is either.
I'm a big hoarder, and like,
I don't know if there's
everything.
keeping a t-shirt that we all got. I don't know if that's considered hoarding or is like.
Well, it's just like
you were.
Yeah, it's a workout shirt or like a shirt that I would wear like not out in public.
Yeah, of course.
But I keep like tickets of things and like wristbands from. So I keep like just for memories.
I think that's nice.
I keep that stuff too.
Yeah, I think that's a nice.
Like
thing
I
to
still
do.
have somewhere, like our People's Choice, the first People's Choice Awards, like all the tickets and stuff we had, like the passes.
That's great. Are you planning on making us a scrapbook one day with all those things?
I could.
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Maybe for like episode 1,000.
Mine.
Yeah. All right. Weekly watch report.
Episode 1,000. Jesus.
On Monday. On Monday. Weekly watch report. On Monday. Woo, woo, woo. I didn't watch that much. I watched. So in the past 2 weeks, The King of Queens was brought up to me 3 separate times from 3 different people. And I've watched a lot of episodes of The King of Queens just on cable. And every time I bring up cable, I realize that I may be one of the only people on earth that still has cable. But anyways, I've just have seen episodes, but I've never watched it from the beginning. So I started King of Queens from the beginning. Just another great sitcom.
Just a sitcom.
You know what I mean?
I don't think I've watched one episode of that show ever.
Really?
That is just so funny for some reason that you're like starting King, like you're watching King of Queens. Like
No, but I think a lot of people are, and I think it's because of the Kevin James memes.
Yeah.
It was brought up like 3 separate times, and then Glenn, aka Glenny Balls, I guess when I call him Glenn, people won't know what I'm talking about, but Glenny Balls,
Yeah.
I can't call him that.
No.
I just like don't know him as that. But he said that he was starting The King of Queens from the beginning, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm watching the same sitcoms every night.
Right.
Should we try watching The King of Queens from the beginning?
Yep.
And so we did. And it's just a classic sitcom. And many people have told me that I remind them of Leah Remini in The King of Queens.
I could see that.
And so I take it as a compliment.
I can't agree or disagree because I've never seen the show.
You've never seen one episode?
No, not one. No.
I've never like put it on. It's just always like any hotel you go to, like it's just always on.
Like it's just one of those things that's on cable.
Yeah.
I don't know why in my mind like it had like a bad stigma.
The King of Queens?
Yeah, like I feel like if I was like
You mean,
I
like,
was
as a bad show.
I'm just saying like I feel like I recall being up late like in high school or whatever, or like watching TV and having like Nick at Night on and like Friends is on. Then like Fresh Prince would be on, and then like King of Queens would start. I'd be like, change the channel.
Well, because the other ones are a lot better. Like
Yeah.
Friends is a lot, in my eyes, a lot better than the King of Queens.
Yeah.
Seinfeld is a lot better than the King of Queens. But the King of Queens is still good though.
Yeah.
It's a
How
good
many seasons did they do?
A ton. It went from 1998 to 2007.
Wow. Almost 10
The
years.
King of Queens is a great show. It's not.
yeah, I think it's a good show.
It's
What
nothing
can you
to,
watch it on?
Peacock.
Oh, on the cock.
Yeah, it's nothing to roll your eyes about.
Oh, I'm not at all.
No,
I've
not you
actually
specifically. I'm just saying in general. Nothing to scoff at.
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about watching it.
I just like I said,
Yeah,
it just has come up so much in the past 2 weeks. I was like, fuck it, let's put on some King of Queens. And I also said that if somebody were to make a movie where Leah Remini plays a mother, I could play her daughter. From the amount of times people have told me that I remind them of Leah Remini in King of Queens.
I think so.
So if anybody out there wants to make a movie and has Leah Remini starring as a mother and needs a 20-something-year-old daughter in the mix, maybe I could play late teens.
You could play high school.
Maybe I could play high school. You let me know, and I would love to play her daughter.
Yeah.
So just putting that out there. So I want the King of Queens. I'm going to give, in the realm of sitcoms, I'm going to give the King of Queens, the best part of the King of Queens is Arthur, who is Jerry Stiller, Ben Stiller's dad. He is the best part
that was
of the
just
show.
a trivia question.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That was the trivia question. It was brought up a couple different times.
I don't even know if that's aired yet.
It has not.
But he's the best part of the show. So I'm gonna rate it.
He plays
Carrie's dad.
Her father.
Yes.
Gotcha.
He's the best part of the show by far. So I'm going to give it a... It's hard because it's a sitcom score, you know what I mean? Like Friends is A+.
Yeah.
Seinfeld is A+.
Yeah.
So if I'm rating those A+, I would give this like a B.
Right. That feels right.
B minus. Still like it a lot.
Yeah.
And then I watched the Love is Blind finale and reunion.
As did I.
And I was quite shocked.
As was I.
So, spoiler alert. If you have not watched, we are about to talk about Love is Blind.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I feel like words are not coming out of my mouth smoothly today.
Spoiler alert.
They're not flowing today. Izzy
Spoiler alert.
and Stacy. Izzy and Stacy, no go.
Yeah, no go.
No go. Izzy said yes, Stacy said no. Then she wanted to continue dating, and Izzy said, nope, we're not getting married. I don't want to be together at all.
Yep.
So they, in my eyes, were not going to work out. They were not compatible. I didn't think any of these couples were going to work out. But Milton and Lydia got married and are still together. And let me tell you,
it's been a year and a half.
They've been together a year and a half. And from what I saw at the reunion, I saw growth.
Yeah.
I saw growth from the two of them at the reunion. I saw a united front from the two of them at the reunion. I saw Milton sticking up for his wife.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I really, in my eyes, were like, okay, we're going to get to the reunion and Milton and Lydia are going to have been divorced by now.
Yeah.
Not the case. They're still together and no other couple made it. And let me tell you, I fucking hate that man, JP. oh my God. That fucking face.
I know.
That smug face he had on the whole time.
I don't know how all the other boys like him so much.
I don't know how anybody didn't point out his smugness while
I've seen no personality from him.
none besides this jerk smirk.
Yeah.
That's what I'm labeling it. A
and
jerk
just like
smirk.
continuing to make Taylor feel like she's like not attractive.
It's awful. She looked stunning.
She looks stunning.
She looked beautiful. And this guy is like laughing, smiling, like, oh my God, my blood was actually boiling watching this man. I was like boiling.
I just feel like
I
maybe
hate
he's
when
just
people
so
just,
incredibly awkward too. Like even when they asked him like, would you go up to her at a bar? And he was like, no.
My
But,
friends
I
do
don't.
that.
I like don't do that. Like my friends do, and then like it's like what?
So you're a fucking bitch.
Like you can't like approach a woman in a bar.
Like that's so lame.
Everything about that guy.
He's so lame.
So
and,
lame.
And I hate when people like smile and smirk when they're egging someone on almost. And this reminds me of the Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul fight this weekend, which I watched on Saturday. Logan Paul beat Dylan Dennis. And Dylan Dennis the whole time is smiling and smirk. And the announcers are just like, he's a joke. Like, he's just doing things that he can like clip online on Twitter. He's the definition. Sorry, I don't know how I'm getting into this, but it just reminded me of the smiling. But he's the definition of an online troll that when you see them in real life is a fucking loser. Like that, like the whole time he was just being a loser. He did not fight at all.
Oh, I was going to say I don't know if you can confirm, but I only saw like one clip from like the third round because somebody actually like was watching it on their phone during the cocktail hour at this wedding. And I was like, this is god awful. Like they weren't fighting.
No, Logan was fighting.
Yeah.
Logan Paul was fighting. Logan Paul was punching. Logan Paul was doing everything he could to fight Dylan Dennis. Dylan Dennis would not throw a punch. He wouldn't throw a punch. The whole time he stood there like this, wouldn't engage in the fight. Like
and it's
that,
like I didn't try.
Right, no. Literally the
just
definition.
collecting the paycheck.
He didn't get paid for any of the streams though. I think that's the
But
way
he definitely got a big check.
You still get paid though.
But he didn't get paid for like those. He doesn't get money for those streams. I think it goes to like Logan. But it's just the definition of a troll who can like sit online and say all these things behind a screen, and then in person he's a little bitch. Like he's a loser. Like literally the definition of a loser. Watching that whole thing, and so yeah, that brings me back to JP for Love Is Blind, just sitting there like a loser.
Yeah,
like just smiling, like you're an asshole.
I agree. He really just like could not say one nice thing. I don't know. It was pretty wild. I don't know, the finale, like the finale is one thing, and I know we said it last week. It's like put the fucking finale out with the other episodes, because the finale comes out, and I don't know about you, but personally, I just fucking fast forward through all the
absolutely
the pre-wedding stuff. I'm like, get me to the altar.
I'm going right to when they say I do.
Gotta find out what happens. But yeah, I mean, it seems like Milton has certainly had a lot of growth. All the guys seem to agree as well that like he's a different guy, and Lydia and his family get along great, and they're this great pairing. I feel like there's still a lot to uncover with the Uche stuff. Who, by the way, also what a bad taste left in the mouth from that guy. You know,
Uche,
like,
oh my gosh,
Uche not showing up to the reunion, posting on
Bad.
like his socials, being like, "Oh, like I'm looking forward to when I can speak about like my process," blah blah blah. Like sending out those texts,
and nobody in the group likes him. And also Aaliyah saying that basically what she figured out was that she was not the type of woman he's attracted to. Like the way that was worded was extremely weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, and I am happy that she's happy now, because she said she met somebody and they're really happy together. But I feel like he was like incredibly disrespectful to her, and we probably didn't see it because I think it was off camera.
Yeah.
Because they tried to date a little bit after the show, and it seemed like that did not end well.
Yeah, he gives off like some major narcissistic vibes.
Yeah.
And now like, I don't know. Do I kind of think Lydia knew he was going to be on the show? Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. She can deny it all she wants, but I think if she did admit that there was like a moment where they had discussed that casting was happening, and in my mind, that's like, okay, maybe you didn't outright say, I want to go on this show, or let's do it together or whatever. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking like, ooh, I wonder if he did do the casting, because I'm going to do it. It's like you're still thinking about it.
Right.
So I don't know. Obviously, like, look, Lydia and Milton, seems like it's worked out for them. This whole season was such a flop in my mind. Like, truly, I know it's like you kind of base it off the success of any of these couples. But the second half of the show I thought was just not good. Like the pods were entertaining, but the second half I just felt like it felt really overproduced. They were trying to come up with like storylines and drama. Stacey kind of cracks me up, and at the end I was just like, you know what? I think Stacey was ready to like become a star from this show, or like want to be in that world, because I do think she liked Izzy for sure, but she had no issue saying no at the altar. You know, like it's just, she said no, and then she was like, oh, well, that's over.
Yeah.
You know, it was just kind of seemed like she had moved on. Izzy had a couple like sassy comments too after the wedding. He was like, oh, just because I'm like a 29-year-old guy with a bad credit score, and she just wants like these 45-year-old guys that can like pay for everything, whatever. I don't know. I just, Stacey clearly likes her nice things. She likes money. She likes having money. I don't know if maybe she saw this as a opportunity to have another revenue stream. Maybe she wants to get into the influencer game, that whole kind of thing. There's some contestants that you literally never hear from again from Love Is Blind. And then there's some that have created actual like a legit following with 1 million+ followers. So, you know, it either works out or it doesn't for them. I don't really know. I honestly have not looked at any of these people's socials. I don't know like if Stacey
I haven't
is But it just felt like that really wasn't going to work. She's got 110,000 followers.
Yeah.
I guess there was some drama with she put out another statement about Johnny.
It seems like Stacey's in a one-sided fight with Johnny. I feel like she is really like continuing this fight going, but I don't think Johnny is necessarily continuing the fight.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I feel like, but I don't know, Johnny, like behind closed doors, I feel like could have also really been talking shit. I don't know. But yeah, no, she put out another statement about this whole thing. Yeah, Chris and Johnny didn't work out. He just started dating somebody else.
Not surprised.
Wild move.
Not surprised.
Wild move. And yeah, I mean, that was kind of it. Like I said, not a super successful season.
No, it was probably the least successful season of Love is Blind, but entertaining. I'm going to give it a C.
I think that's fair. I'll go not that I'm just giving my grade for no reason here, but I'll just do it. I agree with you. C+.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think that's all I watch. I mean, I watched my other shows, but
yeah,
I'm not going to keep rating them every week.
No, I agree. I also had that kind of week. I didn't really watch anything new, just continuation of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my Love is Blind grade. That was really like the one thing I was focused on. I felt like I really did not watch. Like,
well, we had a, we
were
on
a show. We were traveling.
Show Thursday, Friday. You were at the wedding.
Yeah. Special Forces. There's a new episode tonight, but I am up to date on that. I'll give that a B. There's been 3 episodes out now. It really always surprises me who just like bails. The people who make it like a couple days and then they're just like, I'm out. No can do.
Can't handle it.
Yeah. Like Brian Austin Green, I thought would go farther. Spoiler alert. Another one. There was a couple meltdowns as well. I'm waiting for Tyler to have his moment. They're like every episode they kind of focus on a different person and like they get called in to talk to the staff and they kind of like unload their feelings and like what they've been through in life, and it's like kind of an emotional conversation. I think Sandoval's is coming up. But there's some people I'm interested to hear from. Dance with the Stars, we spoke on a little bit. That's, I don't really have a grade for that. And to be completely honest, I believe my Hulu will tell you that I watched it, but my brain will not be able to recap it. I put on an episode of the D'Amelio show when we got back to the hotel after the Philly live show, watched episode 7. Not sure what happened in it.
There's no way.
It played. I think
you'd be able to remember.
I just put it on for some background noise.
Probably.
Because I just like to have the TV on like sometimes when I'm going to sleep. Especially when I'm in a hotel. When you're alone. Like I just like need.
Have to have the TV on.
You need to have the noise.
The best part is Friends being on cable in the hotel every single time.
Yeah. Normally I just go with putting the TV on, but the TV in the rooms we were in, bad angle with the bed.
Yeah, I rearranged mine.
Yeah. I could have done that, but was just lazy. Put on my iPad. So technically I watched that, but wasn't really too much to add to that. And honestly, that was truly everything that I had watched. I kept it laid low. And you know what I do? Some inside Barstool, but the Dozen like play-in tournament is happening right now. And I watched all those episodes last week. So like normally in the time where I would throw on an hour of like Real Housewives or like something else, I just put on the Dozen. So I have not, I am not totally caught up with Housewives, Salt Lake City and New York. Okay, that's it for me.
All right, Noah, what did you watch?
I finished the Beckham documentary. I watched episode 3 and 4. Give that an A-. I'm a big David Beckham fan now.
Yeah, and that was one of my favorite documentaries I've ever seen.
Yeah. I was just gonna double down on really well done.
Wait, sorry to cut you off. I just remembered something I watched on Saturday.
Put it in there.
I don't even want to grade it because it was fucking disgusting and awful. And I'm not even sure why I watched it, but I didn't really know the full story. Jared from Subway documentary.
I think I tried to watch that, but I was like,
it was so no. Honestly, like it made me sick. It made me sick to my stomach. Somebody had mentioned it, and I honestly, I don't even remember seeing him on commercials when I was younger for Subway. Like, apparently he was like huge,
He
but like,
was the guy, like,
I know, but I don't even for some reason I don't remember it. Like, I don't remember seeing him.
His face was in every single Subway.
Yeah, and I recall him getting arrested in like 2015, but I was, didn't know like every detail. Like, genuinely sickening. Like, I won't even really talk about it, but the whole thing is
also they
fucking
have like
disgusting. Like,
it was
made me feel sick to my
like
stomach.
Child pornography, right?
I mean, not just child pornography. He was actually having, relations with very young people, minors, like very young. Like, the whole thing. A woman, she basically figured this out. It's hard to explain. She was a journalist. They were at a school together. He whispered something to her about middle school girls, and from that moment, she was on to him. She was like, I am on to him. So she became close with him and started recording their phone calls to like get this information out of him because she knew there was something up with him. Ugh. She then brought the tapes to the FBI, and the FBI was like, technically this is illegal, but if you now work for us and continue to record this, then you'll just be working for us. So she had to stay undercover for the FBI for like years, and she would bring the tapes to the FBI. The FBI would basically be like, this isn't enough. Like, he was saying the most disgusting, vile things about minors, like really young. It was really disgusting, and it's a whole long thing, but actually made me sick to my stomach. So I watched that, but I'm not going to grade it.
Is that
obviously
new, or
it was on HBO Max?
New.
It's somewhat new. Like, someone had mentioned it, and I saw it.
Because I feel like I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, and I saw it come up, and I was like, I don't know the full story.
Yeah.
And then once we started watching it, I was like, oh my God, it's crazy. Just disgusting.
Yeah. And you know what else I saw this weekend too, that it's not out and it's not going to be out for a while, but I could not be more intrigued by, is Gypsy Rose.
Yep.
Is going to have a docuseries on Lifetime.
I feel like they've made 100 things about her.
No, but
not
this
her.
is her.
Like,
but
not,
they make things about her, but not her actual like
Joey King
voice.
played her.
No, I know.
But anyways,
that's not out till January.
Yeah.
So because she's released in December.
That whole story creeps
so
me out.
crazy. But the Beckham documentary is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. I watched Totally Killer, the movie.
That's the one I watched.
That one. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Solid B. I like good scary movie. I like the time travel aspect of it. I didn't know that going into it.
It was a good movie for this time.
I've never
of year.
seen her in anything, honestly. Like, I
Kieran
knew
Shipka?
Yeah, I knew her just because of like the John Mayer connection.
Mad Men?
But no, I never watched Mad Men.
She also played Sabrina, the new Sabrina
the
Teenage-
Netflix one.
Yeah.
No, but she was good.
Yeah.
And I watched this Tom Cruise movie, American Made.
Saw that on Netflix.
Yeah, why was that?
It was like everywhere on Netflix. And
it was
then,
everywhere on Netflix. It said it was the #1 movie on Netflix, but it's a movie from 2017.
It's old, and I realized halfway through, like, oh, I've seen this. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know, I couldn't remember parts, but then I'm like, I definitely have seen this. But that's a good movie. It's B+. It's a crazy story too.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like Netflix, it's either like a movie that people have seen, but it just never really took off. And then like once it starts to get a little traction on Netflix, or it gets added to Netflix and it has like a little bit of Netflix can see like people are watching it, they like push it out so hard.
I think also like Tom Cruise, it's like so easy to like get people to watch.
I know. I'm just like, I feel like I opened Netflix on Wednesday and it was the first thing playing.
Oh yeah. So yeah, B+. I started this Netflix show. I hadn't even finished like the full first episode, but it's called Everything Now. I didn't love it, but maybe it'll get better. It's this girl just got out of like a mental hospital, and like it's kind of like her returning to everything now. Her returning to like
I feel like
her
I've
life.
heard of that.
I think they're British. I think it's set in like UK. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of depressing, so I turned it off. But yeah, so I'll give that a C. I watched not the last Scream, but the Scream 5, I guess, where it's the Scream that doesn't have a number next to it, but not the first one. Jenna Ortega's in it. Cause I'm
the most recent one that just
not
came.
The most recent one. There's a
I
Scream.
thought Jenna Ortega was in the most recent one.
She's been in 2, I guess.
Oh.
There's a Scream. This was like a trivia question that I got that was like messed up. Scream.
I do not know that much about the Scream movies, so.
Yeah, there's a Scream that came out in 2022. That's the one that I watched.
Okay.
And then there was also one that came out in 2023. I'm gonna watch that this week probably.
Gotcha.
But good. I actually liked it. Like I always liked the first Scream. I'll give it a B. Just a solid. Like they have old characters. Courtney Cox is in it. You know, all of them. Also, this is like the first time I've really seen Jenna Ortega in anything as well. So,
did you? You didn't watch Wednesday?
No. Tim Burton's always scared me. Like anything he does,
super fair.
Really just creepy and like not for me.
Wednesday, I came around on Wednesday though. Wednesday ended up being pretty good, I will say. But I do agree with you. Tim Burton's not my cup of tea.
Beetlejuice is a top 2 like disturbing movie for me, as well as
I've never even watched any of the animated ones, like Coraline and like The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I've seen The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Have not watched.
Edward
those.
Scissorhands will forever have scarred me.
I've talked about that was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why.
I just remember like watching as a kid, being like, "This is terrifying." He has scissors for hands.
Yeah, he had a good heart.
Yeah, he was
I know,
misunderstood.
but I don't care. Like he looked so scary.
But that's what was sad about him, is that people were so scared of him, but he really had a good heart.
It wasn't even just the scissors; it's like his face and everything. It just looks
but that's that's the moral of the story.
I'd rather watch Beauty and the Beast if that's the moral of the story.
It's true.
Okay, and then the last thing was I watched this last night. The movie called Past Lives. I don't know if you've heard of this. Korean, but like everyone's like, it came out I think earlier this year, but people are like raving about it. It's probably gonna be Oscar movie, but it's just solid. Like I don't know if I'd call it a rom-com. It's not. Actually no. Let me take that back. It's definitely not a rom-com. It's not really like that funny, but it's a great movie.
It says drama romance.
Yeah, drama romance. That's a better. There's not the comedy is not really. There's no comedy, but
a drama.
Basically, I'll give you the premise right now. This girl, they lived in Korea. Her and this other kid they were like 12, had a crush on each other. Then her whole family moved to Canada, so they left, and then they like reconnect. But she's now married to some like American guy in America, and it's just basically past lives. But very like emotional movie.
Sounds like it.
And I'll give
98 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'll give it an A. Just like.
What did you watch it on?
I had to rent it on Prime.
Yeah, okay. That's what
it's
I
not.
thought.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I watched.
I like the sound of the last one. It sounds like something I would
Same.
like.
It is. It is. And it's the girl from the morning show, the one who's like the assistant for Billy Crudup.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen the trailer for this.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. Looks great. Those are the things we watched this week.
Thanks for the rec, Noah.